beers! 6 beers!
All this chat, and I do believe I'm speaking for both of us, has made us very, very thirsty. 2 pints, prick.
Are you gay?
That is what I ask myself every morning. But what I don't ask myself every morning is if I would want to go back to school.
He's brought it home. He's brought it home. Set up. Shoot. Thing.
Man, that was a brilliant assist.
Ah, wow. That was, we've had some good openings to podcasts in our time, but that, well, like, get the tier list up, Ryan, and edit. Get the tier list up. Scrap the beer, right? And start tier ranking best podcast.
Gallus,
get that in Gallus. Get that
Thank
in Gallus. The best way to start a podcast is just sheer energy, I think. So specifically, because you could talk a lot about school.
Okay.
I'd love to talk about school with Josh White, but he's not here today. So the theme of this episode is going to be more specifically not being at school. Finding ways to get out of school, you know, pulling a sickie and skiving. We will probably get into that in about 40 minutes time, because there's a lot of rambling to be done.
True.
First, welcome to the Piss Takes podcast. I am Ryan Robertson. I am joined, as always, by my co-host,
Aaron Miller.
and today we are going to be talking about, as we said, skiving school, avoiding school, running away from the man with the bat, and reviewing a beer. And it's my choice this week.
It was Ryan's choice.
So today, when this was being filmed, was the Gold Cup in here. It's the Saturday of the Gold Cup. The town is full, as always, with folk with women in their dresses that you just think, why? Men in their suits, look. And you're like, why? And I don't like races, I'm being honest.
No, I hate the races. I hate the races.
I don't like horse racing in general, but I hate that it's just an excuse to dress in suits and dresses, go to a race course and get drunk and annoy people.
Everybody for the local area.
One of the first ones we had there was, we were doing a ScotRail tour myself and Danny. It was the day of WrestleMania 4 or 5 years ago, and we went up to Auchinleck to do a ScotRail tour, and it was the day of the races. That bus that was meant to take 30 minutes to get us to Auchinleck took an hour and a half. Just because the amount of folk that were getting on at the town and going to the race course. Just walk. I know you have to go through White City, but you could just go round it. Just walk. You'll actually be quicker walking than the hour it took the bus picking up and dropping off at every bloody spot. So aggravating. That's the side point. I'm going to the Spar because I narrowly made this recording. Narrowly. And I'm looking at the selection of drink, and there's 4 or 5 suited men in front of me, and I'm like, yeah, pick us a drink.
You got them to do it.
So I asked some random suited people to pick us a drink with Mad Dog. And I was like, no, a lager, shopkeeper. We don't sell that crap. And I'm like, oh no, I've done a wrong in here. And I was like, pick us a lager. And they were like, that one. And I was like, is it any good? And they said, fuck knows. I present a beer that I have never even heard of, don't know how to pronounce his name, and it might be the best beer ever. I might drink it again.
I want to sell it's veiled in mystery. What in the flying fuck?
Grolsh.
Is that Pilsner?
Grolsh. Because it's not even in a font that you can read.
No,
Grolsh.
Grolsh.
It was the cheapest one. This was £4. It's £5 a bottle. I don't even know.
I'm one of those that are a good start though. When I see Pilsner beer, Pilsners have a high tendency of being solid.
We got 3.4%. We're gonna be steaming off this. That's almost as high as Carlsberg. Beck's might be higher. Yeah, I'd say we just don't stop beating around bushes and get into this garbage. It's been in a Spar fridge, so it is relatively cold. Right, let's get that can looked at. 1615, it's for Holland. It's an
Holland lager.
Dutch lager, and well, Pilsner as they say. And I'll just quickly read you Google's their website's origin. Setting up a brewery during the Dutch Revolt was a daring move, but that didn't stop William Neervelt, our founder, who opened the brewery in the Dutch town of Grolsh in 1615. Peter Kuiper, an ambitious apprentice, started work at the brewery around 1650, as the story goes. Peter fell in love with William's daughter, Jenniken, and was tasked with brewing the finest tasting beer from her father's brewery to win her hand in marriage. His third attempt triumphed. It included a second variety of hops, a revolutionary for the time, the taste of Grolsh, was born. So this beer, I've got an image of the man, which I'll put on screen now.
Ah, fine looking. I would trust him with a lager.
Absolutely.
He looks like he knows his tongue about.
Created this thing that we hold in our hands to win over a girl.
Heart.
Like, this won a woman. Not because the woman liked the beer, but because the dad liked.
Must be a
the
pretty
beer.
thing. I'm quite excited from the
What
backstory to try
a
this.
story.
It looks quite authentic to it. It looks like it knows what it's talking about.
It looks Amsterdam. Like, it definitely looks foreign, and it's got a really weird red.
The red ring with the red ring film.
Anyway,
That's fine.
oh, it's gonna taste like water.
I hope not.
Like
Let's get
water.
I'll get a little.
Ooh.
Oh,
I quite like that.
open on.
I think that's got the right kind of almost bready, weedy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very hoppy in a way.
Oh, well, there's two.
Yeah, you can tell
As
it's
the man
double
said.
down on the hops, and you
Interesting.
can tell.
I don't dislike that. I was scared we were just gonna immediately be like, this is cheap garbage. And it is cheap.
No,
And it's,
certainly not garbage.
it's like
That's certainly not garbage.
intriguing. Anyway, gonna put this in a glass.
Of course.
Happy beer day.
UK Canada pint.
This glass has seen better days, but so has this beer.
Do you know what I'm curious about?
man.
Is I wonder why, like, how does Spar have a market for this? Like, who is actually buying this?
Who's buying Grolsh?
Like, how can they have a market to have it in stock?
Grolsh. 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 Just gonna keep saying it
I
until
think
it goes
it's like
in.
Grolsh. Is it L?
Grolsh. Grolsh. You right?
What glasses you got?
Glasses.
One.
A glass. A glass is a glass. Any wheat beer goes in any glass. We've been over this.
Here's what?
If you came in about 15 seconds earlier, you could have had it.
What are you drinking?
Grolsh.
Grolsh?
Yeah. It was recommended by a man. And, well, I say recommended. I asked him to pick one and he went, that one.
In the shop?
In the Spar, yeah.
It's not quite.
1650 apparently. 1615.
Used to get in bottles years ago.
Any nice in bottles?
Didn't like it.
That's quite nice. Do you want to sit?
No, you stay.
I just forgot on the podcast, as we do. It's a beer review, as always. It's like,
No for it.
Yeah.
it was cheap.
3.4%.
Yeah, we're going to be drunk.
You're going to be drunk? You need to drink a bit. Something to cans it.
Ah, well, I've got
See
to.
that stuff in the sale we got?
Yeah,
The lowest alcohol is 5.6.
that's going to be a great time.
It's 2 at 6.3.
We're gonna have some nice times watching Mission Impossible, aren't we?
Wow.
What do you mean you are?
Aye. I bought it.
I said we need to get two and you...
£2.50.
Oh, sure, I'll pay in. I'll pay 25 and get my own set.
You need a thing to get it. It's quite heavy. You would need it in the car now. Keep the money for it.
Give money, you get one, and then we can have them whilst watching Mission Impossible. We can talk about that. Yeah,
So we get one each.
perfect. That's the plan.
All day.
See you later.
See ya.
I'm cutting none of that. I don't care, I'm not going to cut that. Anyway, back to
Back to where we were.
pouring the drink, pouring the drink, pouring the drink. Oh, I like this. This is immediately screaming good bad. Because it's affordable. It's really cheap. It's got a nice taste. Whether that taste wears off.
True.
Because I do get the feeling that once you get to maybe
Craving the dregs.
Yeah. the dregs of this are going to taste like...
There may be a saying.
Yeah, like, that's where I fear. But the straight pour, the straight from the can, it does taste. It's got a lot of life to it for now. And where can we pop these so you can see them? You should be able to see that. Dead centre. Oh, that was a nice sip. Oh, it's got promise. I'm excited. I think this is the first time that we've tried one that I've never even had. That,
I've
like,
never even heard of it.
no,
I've never seen
Grolsh. And it's got one hell of a story.
it. does, actually.
If we find it on draft in Glasgow or like,
Imagine.
that'd be it. But yeah, I'm buzzing for this one. Are you? I love asking questions through a lens. Can I tell you about my day?
Of course, go on.
It's always because normally when there's like you and Josh, I always have that kind of patter where I'm like, oh, what you been up to today, and then like Josh will take 15 minutes explaining his day, and that's how we really get to the 40 minutes before we actually start talking about the topic. But Josh isn't here to ramble, so I'm gonna have to ramble. Luckily, I'm quite good at it. My day today at work started at 12, and I had a team. Charlotte was the lady's name, lovely lady, and it was her and two people that she was with, and they travelled the world between America and Britain and a little bit of Europe so far, but they've not yet moved completely to Europe. Not my top. God, it's been chaotic, hasn't it? And most people would just start again. No. That's the point of the Piss Takes podcast. It's meant to be absolute anarchy from start to finish. They tour a bit of the world doing escape rooms, essentially. They've done about 100 games dotted around the place, which is a good number. That's how much my bosses are up to. I'm at, I think, 15. So you can see the scale. I was generally talking to them, and they booked all 3 games back to back.
Jesus.
To back. Because that's what they do. Yesterday they did that, but in a company in Edinburgh. 2 days ago they did that, but in a company in Stirling. 3 days ago they did that, but in Dundee. And I was like, so what you're saying, this was their final day of escape rooms, and I was like, so what you're saying is, I've got a lot to live up to, is you have me to host all 3 of your games today, and I'm going to have to be half decent at my job for a change. Because normally I'm just in... I doubled down on the informality. Because normally you go to an escape room and you get someone who's really robotic and a bit pretend and just kind of saying all the lines, whereas me, I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to talk like a big person, and that seemed to work for them. We had lovely conversations other than lots of things. I asked them what's the weirdest bit of health and safety that they've had in a game. And one of the bits of health and safety information they were told in a game 3 days ago in Edinburgh, I believe, was don't have sex in the room. That got me thinking, what would I do if I was watching a game and some people just started shacking? Like, stop. Or like, what am I meant to do in that situation?
I think I would just start turning the lights on and off or something. Try and disturb them to the point that they stop.
Connect the speaker.
Yeah, like
ruin the speaker
and
start playing like rap. Like
just
really on.
Or like start watching a movie in the background and blast it through to their audio.
Just watch kids. Plug in kids and start watching.
Yeah, just try and make it really uncomfortable for them. So I wouldn't want to physically intervene.
Just cut the music.
In any way. Yeah.
I could just switch off the camera if I'm being honest. And
I know, but then it's like they win. I would want to be the one
to
win. Like,
true, I'd want to win.
I've conquered. You're not fucking. This is my escape room. Ain't no hootenanny shenanigans going on in here.
How do you be in an escape room though? And just decide, yeah, now's the time.
You'd have to be sober enough to like kind of get in and not get turned away. So it's like a sober
Were they just really horny? And like, I didn't ask too many questions because you wouldn't. But like, was there a bed in the escape room? Like, what was it? Just I saw it against this wall. Like, how schemy was it? Because it's Edinburgh. I guarantee you should some uni students being twats. But anyway, after the first game, which was the Abandoned Academy they started on, they did it in about 48 minutes.
Was that good? Bad?
I mean,
average?
That's considering they've done lots of games. That's probably quite bad, but that's a good thing because that means even now that game challenged them, which means it's a good game. If they did it in 20 minutes, there's probably some issues with it. But if there was 2 puzzles they got really stuck on, and everything else they kind of figured out quite quickly. So all that says a good thing about the game. Then our next game they went into the Trapped in Time. That one was about 55 minutes because they got really stuck on one thing and refused to ask for help. And I mean, I refused to give them it. At this point, I began asking them, and began telling them about my stories of Prague and Dublin. Just started, you give me, I'll give you a bit about me. And then they were like, right, we're going to take a wee hour break, go for some lunch. And I was like, enjoy. So they went for some lunch. I went to Greg's. They went to somewhere quite nice cafe. And they come back. I was in with my colleague Emma and we're sat, and she's like, you've been lovely, you've been such a nice host. We decided to buy you some cakes. And I was like, oh, how should... You've been to Day Bake?
Epic, is that?
It's in the corner of Newmarket Street.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Super expensive.
Is it? I've never been in, I've seen it.
Brilliant cake shop. Like little tiny cakes, but that size we got. Absolutely divine. Emma's one was a twirl kind of flavoured one, so it was just sheer chocolate and twirl. Mine was a Rolo one, so it was just a sheer chocolate cake with Rolos and melted caramel around it. Beautiful. They're about $5 each. Like they bought us the bollocks of little cakes. So best team I've ever had. And they went into the Old Kirk and did that one in about 39 minutes, I think it was. That was our hardest game. They did it the quickest. I think lunch helped out. I think we had a lovely wee blether. They bought some stuff from the shop and they sodded off to wherever they were going for dinner. And I was like, oh, they were really nice. Then my last team arrived. Lovely couple. Just not the smartest people in the world, but lovely people. So I didn't mind staying another half an hour to let them finish the game, just hoping I would make the bus to make it here, and I had enough time to get the Grolsh, which really does sound like I'm talking about like Victorian era food.
Yeah, the Grolsh. The Grolsh. I think that's like the best gift to get someone when you don't know them, is like a small sweet cake. Because if you get them big, some folk don't like it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of cakes, but I think if you get a small tiny one that's good, it's like that's such an ideal. That's like top tier gift. That's a girl's gift.
Little cake.
Yeah.
I may have to go back to They Bake just to get another one of those cakes. They might have financially hurt me by doing that because they're expensive and they are all. It was. You know that way when you're like out and you get like a really nice small bit of fudge cake. Like it's small, so it's not.
Yeah, you don't get sick of it. It's
Yeah.
not too sweet. You don't get sick of it.
It was that, and maybe one or two bites too little, which is
but that's
good.
What keeps
That's
you
good
coming back.
because that means you want to go back for it. You don't get sick fed up of it. It doesn't make you feel sick. It doesn't make you actually sick. It's just a little bit less than what would be perfect, and that is inherently perfect. Anyway, how was your day?
Rather uneventful. I'm trying to think of what's really going on. It's just been a chillax day, really.
Well,
Fucking got a Greg's myself. My mum brought me one back, a couple
Nice.
of sausage rolls. I was like, yeah.
I went at 6ish, so no, it was 4ish and they had no sausage rolls left. It was like a 10-minute wait, so I ended up with 2 vegan sausage rolls.
They vegans are honestly just as good as the real ones, honestly.
They're different. They're distinctly different.
Oh, 100%, they're different.
But they are.
It's
they
the
are
pastry
not-
that makes it like a strange.
They're like, I think I prefer the normal ones just that tiny bit more. But it's a 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 situation. It's like,
I think it depends on the day. The Greg's ones with this morning are kind of weak, but I do have days where like they're fucking weak and they're
it's the mood you're in.
Yeah,
think
it's
it's the
the
mood you're in.
and sometimes it's just, I don't know. But honestly, I'd maybe even say that a cold vegan sausage roll is comparably maybe better than a cold
vegan
sausage
one is
roll.
better. A cold vegan one is better because the pastry.
Because you know again, you go to Greg's and if they've not been heated up for long enough,
And
you've
the
been too
lady's
long.
like,
It's
they're
like,
cold. It's not all right. Genuinely, mate. I'm in Greg's. Like I'm not.
I know,
I'm not looking for.
Fine dining.
What's the fancy word that they use? Grolsh.
uh,
Not looking for like caviar or whatever it is the fancy word.
You've seen that Greg's have started doing chicken sandwiches. Fried
Just
chicken.
Ooh.
Yeah, like, no, sorry, not chicken. Yeah, fried chicken, like a chicken burger, pretty much. A fried chicken sandwich.
Greg's they get up to all sorts.
I remember
It's
it. I swear they used to
actually.
only have steak baked sausage rolls, and instead of like the
And pizzas. It was
pizzas.
pizza, steak, baked sausage rolls. That's the 3 I remember.
That's the thing I remember growing up. And then the little
When
lollipops that were the chocolate egg style.
Aye.
I used to fucking
Oh,
love
and
them.
the jammy heart biscuits.
Yeah, I
Which-
never preferred the jam. I like jam, but the chocolate
I'm
egg
not big on
lollies,
jam. Like I would never put it on toast, but seeing like an Empire biscuit,
just that little bit. Don't it?
absolutely. Little bit in
Saying that,
cake,
maybe I'd like
little
it
bit in
now.
Empire biscuit, little bit in the jammy heart biscuit, little bit in jammy Dodgers.
I've never actually had a jam on.
Best biscuit.
Really?
2 years ago, Josh White and Callum, I sent them away to record a film podcast about Con Air. So they recorded a podcast about the movie Con Air, brilliant film. And they just decided, because they got into a conversation on that about biscuits, so they just decided to send me a 2-hour long biscuit tier list, where they tier listed the best British biscuits. The tier list was really good. They scrolled for ages to find one, as they explained at the beginning, but for the life of them, they couldn't find one that had shortbread on it, so they just immediately said that's top tier. And then they moved on to them discussing biscuits and tier rating biscuits. And Josh White put the like jammy creams above jammy Dodgers, which is basically just jammy Dodgers with a little bit of cream and wasp biscuit. Like sacrilege, basically. He argued that jammy Dodgers were mid to bad and they were the best. And me and Callum to this day cannot fathom it, because it really skewed the tier list. That's going to happen one day with a beer on this show, but like Callum was like, yeah, top tier jammy Dodger, and Josh was like, second last tier, so it ended up in the mid tier. And it was just like, the tier list was relatively accurate from there on, but jammy Dodgers was just in the mid tier. Do one, Josh, and I've never forgave him for it.
I need to try them now that I'm a little bit older. I have a more refined palate. I like the jammy Dodger.
Maybe I'll bring them to an episode of Piss Takes and get the jammy Dodger taste this.
Jammy Dodger. Get on the tier list.
Gallus, better than any beer I've ever had. And that's where it was going somewhere.
It was something, Greg.
Jambo Heart, yes. So when me and Dan used to volunteer at Deborah, because obviously Jambo, your father, was in Deborah, anytime we'd leave there, it wouldn't be a jammy heart biscuit, it would be a Jambo Heart biscuit that we would ask for. And the person would always look at us slightly blankly, having no idea what we mean, and we'd just and then we'd go and get you and get the bus to wherever the fuck we were going that week.
And what age were you at that time?
He's setting up a transition. 13, 14, 15?
13.
14?
So he must have still been in school. But
we would have still been in school.
Or were we?
I had a really good transition that we could have used as well.
I see that, yeah.
See when you were like...
Rewind.
Oh, I remember Greg's when it was just pizzas, sausage rolls and steak bakes. I remember that from when I was at school. Or not. So either one of those is your transition to on topic. I did not like school.
I didn't at the time, but looking back on it,
well, aye,
it was better than what I go with credit for.
Well, it's because all your stories, all your patter comes from school. That's where you meet the folk that you're waiting out. It's like,
well, most folk do. Some folk don't. Some folk seem to.
We struck gold in that sense that we met a good group of folk and skived with them and still with them essentially. But I had no time for education for the most part because it was never going to help me. I got to a point. I was a very, very, very big tryhard at the old school and primary.
So was that?
I was top of the class.
So was that? I was
all the way through. It was myself and Gemma McIntosh. Always, he's the smartest, he's the best, he's getting the high scores and all that. I got to first year and I just kind
stopped caring.
The first 6 months of first year, like most people, you're a bit scaled. The second 6 months, you do what you do.
It's too long in the tooth, as they say.
It's like, actually, no, this could be fun, this school thing, and the best way to have fun is to do just that. Is to not try and to have fun. Put in effort when needed.
Yeah, you probably definitely should.
Like don't not try.
Don't self-sabotage.
But don't be Josh White.
Don't make it your life.
Don't be Josh White from third year right the way through to 6th year, of which he didn't have a life outside of the school and would never skive, no matter how many times you asked him. Classic Josh White though. And that's why he's no use to this conversation we are having. I suppose it came down to Josh was always like tracked by his parents on the Life 360. Remember that time we crossed the water?
Yes. Wait, was that just crossed? I remember the time where
we went to
really went far.
We went to Prestwick.
And I remember getting the phone and it was like, I'm getting picked up right now.
Right,
and it spawned in.
That happened, yeah. But there was the time when we crossed the water and we're in
from like town to...
Yeah, and we were in like, maybe where the uni is.
Yeah.
And that was too far. Because we were in like Craigie, the woods, too far. You're allowed at town and Greenan, Doonfoot and Alloway, because you're going to be safe in those two locations. You're the most dangerous thing in there, Josh White, and you're not dangerous, etc., etc. But the second you're in the woods, I don't know. So like if Josh White was in Castle Hill Woods, skiving,
game over.
Mind blowing. Of course, I think a good way to start this conversation is, I don't know. I think we start skiving. We start with skiving stories. We then move to primary pool and a sickie. Because there's a difference Because you'd never skive the school by pulling a sickie. That's pulling a sickie, completely different thing.
Oh, that's totally different kettle of fish.
Skiving the school.
Do you remember your first time?
The first time because skiving the school has some conditions to it. Let's make a definition for it. I think there's two definitions.
Mm-hmm.
You and someone agree to meet up and not go, or you yourself just don't go, but you have been at school earlier in the day. Like skiving first period, does that count?
I would say so.
Yeah. Because if I was to skive first period, I wouldn't leave the house. And I think that doesn't count.
Oh, yeah, no,
You've got to go to school and leave.
Yeah.
So if you went to Reggie and then left, counts.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't fly.
If you went to Reggie and then left, that counts. But if you just stay in bed and show up, having missed first period.
Well, I couldn't have that lot of shells in Dunellan. If I missed that school bus, it's a fucking long trek.
Exactly.
Number 3 and number 1.
I think I remember my first skive.
I remember the reason. I don't remember when. It must have been like S2 or SD, mine was, I think.
Fair. I remember vaguely mine. Whether it counts or not is a different story because, of course, everyone skies the last day.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And the second last day. And the last day. Because what you're going to do is just watch movies.
Yeah.
I believe it was second year.
Second year.
Christmas break. Last day before Christmas. Me and you went to school. Went to Reggie. Met with everyone at the kind of the red bit at the time.
The red wall, because
Yeah.
we only lived outside or something,
Yeah.
with the COVID shit.
And then we shot out the back doors. And we skived the last day before Christmas. Whilst everyone else that we knew stayed at school
Maybe
because
that had been my first time.
Reese was a goody two shoes, etc.
I think that was a goody two shoes.
Callum, Josh. Daniel would have, but didn't at that time. I think Daniel was maybe a year out from that.
Reaching that age of manhood.
And I remember pretty much verbatim what we did in that day. It was great.
That's the the fact I don't remember it. Unless
We
that's
came
the day
so close to being caught.
Was that the day Miss McKinley?
Yes, we got.
That was S2?
Yeah.
I thought that was maybe S3 or S4. No, I remember seeing her come back to the shop with messages.
Aye.
And we were like, because we went to Belial that day.
Yeah.
And then we came back to get the rest of the gang, did we not?
Yeah, we came
And
back
that's
to
how we
lunch.
came across Miss McKinley.
Yeah, so we kick off this day with.
Is that the day we got nail paint?
Yes.
And we phoned Hutchie.
This man just for some reason decided I want to get my nails painted.
Yeah.
Never done it before.
No.
Why not? I'm not going to break down your psychology.
No.
So we start that by walking the cycle path, because
Fucking
all good days start with walking the cycle path, right?
Yes.
It's 9, and before my parents get home, I've got until like 6. So that's a long time.
Well, especially for a 14-year-old.
Absolutely,
like
takes about an hour. Good blethers. Walked all the way down.
Was that the cat that followed us as well?
That was the second time we walked the cycle path on this date.
Was that when you
Started off all the way down to Toon. At this point, we were like, right, let's go shopping.
Right.
We probably went to because we cut off the cycle path at the Burns bit, did we not? To go to Belial to sit on the swings, to chill on the swings for I think we sat there for genuinely 40-50 minutes. We ventured off into Toon, into Poundland, which is where you got your purple.
I think I remember trying to buy. Oh no, that's different. Yeah, it's like purple, and I bought nail varnish on it as well. It's like Harry flannel, so I'm surprised they sold that to me.
I mean, yeah, they sell it to females. So
True.
They'd be sexist if they didn't. The more wrong.
True. No, I remember getting to the Poundland, and I can't remember. I remember ended up at the Low Green by the beach park at one point as well.
That was well later on. Yeah,
Was that well later on?
We were all over the place on this day.
We've
We then
got
studied
everywhere.
off to Morrison's to get some scran for lunch, of which we do. And when we're in the queue for Morrison's, we bump into our art teacher, Miss Murray. Well, that was awkward. But then it was a kind of situation where it's like, well, she was also skiving to be there. So it was like kind of, I won't tell if you don't
That's what she
tell.
said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Like,
And we're like, absolute legend. We respect that. Then we went back to school for the lunch break.
That was like, that's a staple of skiving. That's
Yeah.
what I did every time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, where else
got-
you go today? You're not going home because
It's
your mom's going to fucking leather you. You'll be happy.
So you put back CV
So
on.
you go back and feel
boys,
like, aye.
and then saw
Get the chat, what happened in class? What did I miss?
Aye.
Fuck all. Alright, well,
Oh,
that explains that way again.
Oh, and then one time you'd missed something.
Aye, you're like, you
huge.
bastard.
Like Dylan Bell pissed himself. Fuck. You got your nails painted by everyone. And that's when we ventured down the psychopath for the second time that day with a wee cat, very nice, with a wee cat, and sang some songs.
I remember it attacked you.
It didn't like me very much. It walked half the psychopath with
It walked off your
Aye. And that's when you were like, right, let's just message somebody and
fuck
with them, basically. Fuck with them. And that was Hutch. And that was the origin of the Hutch.
That's crazy. That's like, man, think of everything came after that, whether we say it or not. Think of everything came after that.
Reese's relationship's formative years.
We
Reese's entire relationship's formative years was decided on the last day of school when we decided this is a guy and go 2 psychopath walks in the same day, and it was so cold.
I remember it being shagged. I remember the dress. You had the grey jacket on, did you know?
Of course.
I had my black North Face, black jeans. I remember you had blue jeans on, did you know?
I had very blue jeans, like the bluest of the blue.
I remember
this t-shirt blue.
I remember the fit, I remember the walk, I remember the weather. It was a very dark day.
Yeah.
The clouds of
it was December.
Sun. I don't think it rained.
No, it got to about 4 o'clock and Hutch obviously had finished school, so wasn't messing us too much from that school. We'll just blare a missed person. You didn't want to use your phone, so for some reason it was all going through me.
Because I was like, if this ends bad, you take the hit, I boost.
I have no form of dignity.
No.
That shit.
I do.
That shit called dignity. Now, side tangent. Myself and Josh White are going to see Deacon Blue soon. In Glasgow. Oh, October 10th. I didn't want to date it because this is going to release in like...
Have you got your songs after, yeah?
That's the 11th, yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Holy fuck,
Yeah.
that's a busy fucking weekend.
That's what we're talking about. That's great.
That's a great weekend.
Deacon Blue.
You need to make sure you need to behave yourself, Deacon Blue, don't get too...
Well, you don't drink too much at concerts because...
No, prices are rising. Yeah.
It's, you have 1 or 2 pints.
Yeah.
And then you maybe
It's
have
like a
1 or
Centre Parks
2...
pint.
Exactly.
You get one and you
The
enjoy
concert
it.
will finish at 11. So we might go for 1 afterwards.
No.
And then head home.
Yeah.
We'll probably have 1 or 2 before. And during the concert, we'll probably have 1 alcoholic beverage and 1 water, just so that your vocal cords can continue to sing. Deacon Blue, brilliant. I'm so excited. They've got so many great songs, but most importantly, my karaoke song of choice, Dignity.
Is that you really your song of choice?
That is my song of choice.
I've only heard the karaoke once, and it was that song, because I was up for it. But if you have to karaoke that again,
I have a weird thing with karaoke.
do you not like it, you know?
Well, I'll do it. But I know I'm shit.
Hmm.
Daniel is...
Well, shit.
Daniel, I'd argue, can be quite good.
I don't know.
I just know I'm shit. So I don't like doing it myself. I like doing it with somebody because then 2
It
folk
kind of
are playing
blends in,
that.
so nobody can really blame,
But-
nobody can point fingers.
If I'm doing it with Josh, me and Josh will normally go down the Kaiser Chiefs route on music that we know. If I'm doing it with you, I'm just going to try and force you to do Dignity.
Yeah, which
If
it didn't go well. I had to learn it as it came up on the screen.
guys are good.
Do you know guys that are good?
Question mark.
Jambo, especially dad looking profile picture.
That's my mother. I tell you that Mika's mother sent me a message, sent Mika a message like a week afterwards saying, "So Ryan doing karaoke? Very good. Carries himself well." And I was like, we'll take that.
Maybe you're better than you think.
The point that I raised immediately was like,
Does she watch Smuggler's Karaoke?
do you watch Smugglers Karaoke? Because my mum watched it live and saw us do it live. So I got in and she was like, "Why were you in Smugglers doing the karaoke?" And I was like,
Why
were
not?
why were you not there? Why were you watching on Facebook live?
Long enough to catch you on it.
But Mika's mum messaged a week afterwards. So does that mean she stalked Facebook's profiles, watched through an hour and 30, found us and was like, "Huh, that's them doing that." She watched it on tape delay.
Yeah,
She did not watch it
recorded
live.
She recorded it.
Yeah, she did not watch it live, which is arguably worse than watching it live.
Oh,
but that is brilliant. In my head, that is just wow. Thank you very much, Mika's mother. You are
I can imagine,
valued
like,
listener of the podcast.
she's like, Leonardo DiCaprio, like, oh, I can imagine that's hard. Just sitting there like on a Friday night, bored as fuck. Fucking man, I'm sitting at the Smuggler's table and...
A week after we did it. Were you going for another Grolsh?
of course.
Very nice.
That's a nice case.
It is a nice
That's a
can.
really nice case. I know, nice can.
And a very conveniently shaped thing. Yeah, but I'm going to get to your Dignity live, and that is going to make me ecstatic. Do you know one of the big reasons you don't drink at concerts? Because they normally give you plastic cups. Which makes it like that taste. I mean, it's fine, it tastes a bit worse, but it's still nice for 1. And B, normally it's a shite selection. The Barrowlands is good. They've got tenants and tenants and tenants. The O2 has Moretti and Poretti.
Oh, Peretti. I've not had Peretti in ages.
And the Hydro, I'm pretty sure, is Heineken. So it's not the worst, but from a Tennent's from a plastic cup tastes quite nice because Tennent's has that joy of tasting nice in most circumstances.
For fuck's sake.
I blame the Grolsh.
It must be the
Grolsh,
beer.
sorry, Grolsh. What a name. I don't know whether I like the name or it's like positive or negative points for the name.
Jeez, it's not very lively, is it? I've seen my life in a cemetery.
That has to be on you.
That might be on me, to be fair. Well, next thing you see.
Yours
actually fell to the bottom. I've never seen that.
I've had this one for ages.
Full.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I got this for my 18th. It's class. With probably nuts or something. How did I get to dignity?
I actually don't know. It's sort of a concert. I think something like karaoke. I actually don't know. I was thinking that when you were talking. I don't want to interrupt, but
these side tangents that we go on are
like,
baffling because they do just.
Because we were talking about Skiving pretty consistently, and he came up with.
We're in the middle of the low green in my head, right? Reese's relationship, the formative years of his relationship, that kind of deal. Daniel Woodall, so on and so forth. Anyway, we end up in Debenhams, which no longer exists, for some unbeknownst reason. I believe you read a love poem to Hutch and just decided to ask her to be your partner outside of the cinema.
Did I?
Yes, it was. You just kept sending really cryptic messages. It was all building up to you saying, "Oh, it's because I said we'll send them from my phone. I've got no dignity." Boom! And I cannot wait to hear it live with Josh White months ago. And it all built up to you asking her out or something.
Yeah, under the guise of Ryan.
Under the Astoria, under like fake identities and that with your purple nails or whatever it was. And then...
I vaguely remember that.
Then I remember coming home and just immediately killing the conversation and not speaking to her again for like a year. No, that's not true. We told Daniel about this. Daniel started speaking about her and within a month we're doing a ScotRail tour in Irvine and all of a sudden we've got Holly Prowler and a Hutch. And outside of Greenan Castle, just kind of like...
Yeah, no, I spoke to Hutch after that. I never became quite decent pals with her, so she's not what they do. I can't remember how
I didn't, I just immediately ceased all conversation.
Well, she was alright for the most spoke to her, I can't think. And then, a certain someone.
Can't just look at that, what reason Daniel both had to go?
Not even that, fucking pals.
Alright.
The less said the better.
No, they wouldn't scatter with us.
No,
that became a recurring theme. I wasn't the best for skiving at the start.
The best was Connor and Billy.
Absolutely. But they had no chaos.
No. Me, Connor and Billy got up to this. Fuck. I fruit in my hood to everything. That's why it was the best feeling of. It's the most freeing you get. It's the greatest feeling of freedom, my opinion, is when you're like 14, 15, 13 and you really have zero responsibility at all. You don't even have anything to yourself. Doesn't matter.
Like, what's going to happen? What's the consequences? Nothing.
And having everyone think that you're in this building and you know being there. And it's like, you can just do it.
You're literally 2 minutes away from it though, doing the Zulu burn.
Sure, unless you're the Zulu burn, but even just having that wee 2 minutes doing the Zulu burn.
Oh, there's so many nice spots that we always go
you know fine well, every class in there bored out, they're absolutely not.
Especially if it's like mad.
Especially if it's a nasty teacher as well.
What was your go-to skive class? What classes did you skive often?
I think it was more the classes I didn't skive. I didn't go to computing ever. I couldn't even fuck computers born. I never cared for PE. I was just doing my NP and go and walk somewhere.
I never skived PE in 2nd and 3rd year.
I think the later years I did, yeah, but the first few actually didn't.
2nd and 3rd year I would never skive PE because 4th year I didn't have it on my timetable, but I really enjoyed PE in those years because my class for PE consisted of TJ, Connell, Reese.
Oh, that sounds like good fun, yeah. Maybe that's not bad. Like S1, S2, I like my S1, S2 class PE, like rounders and shit was alright.
Like, even 3rd year, I mean, actually, telling the truth, PE was a skive for us because the first 6 months when it was like winter and we were split off into like different groups, it was like, right, yous are doing this, yous are doing this, yous are doing this, what do you two want to do? To me, Connell, and well, sometimes Reese if he was there. Because Reese didn't skive, he just didn't go to school. There's a difference.
True.
You just stayed in bed.
That was a fucking, if you're lucky, I'd love to have that.
So me and Connell would always have PE first, and they genuinely just gave us one day, one of the best days of school ever, in my opinion.
That's not when you play table tennis or something.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Everyone's in this room playing football or something, and me and Connell weren't. So Mr. Murray just gave us the keys to a PE room and the cupboard, unsupervised. So he walked into a PE room with the keys, opened up the cupboard, pulled out 2 table tennis tables, began putting up crash mats on the walls, and had a race where you'd like set them up when they're like that, you know, before you fold them out, and would kind of hop on using one foot to power it, and would race, and whoever crashed into the wall first would win. There was pom-poms in there, put them aside, crash mats, things. We had a wrestling match in the cupboard. We got out the table tennis, and we played table tennis by sitting on the table, and then at one point we tried to stand on the table, and Mr. Flanagan walks past, looks in, sees us doing this, and I'm like, Mr. Flanagan's just walked past. Then he steps backwards, like, you know, the classic, not even turns and walks around, but like,
Yeah, like a reverse.
like reverse, like, did I just see that? Looks in, sticks his head in, off the tables, shuts the doors, and continues walking, doesn't even question it. So we get off the tables, and we put the table tennis away because it was no longer fun. Get the climbing frame out. Can we do that? And we, best PE, that is best PE ever. I loved PE at school in that class because we also did rugby. And for rugby, he essentially gathered that myself, TJ, Connell, and Reese were shit. So we played 2v2. Me and Connell versus Reese and TJ. Now you can imagine that that is just me and Connell going and spearing Reese and TJ. That's what it was. Football was great. So our class also contained like all of the football guys. Like half of the school football team were in our class. So we were like, no. So he was like, right, the school football guys, I think it was 5-on-5, we'll just do that. And then the 4 of you will just play with the girls. So it became 4-on-11. Myself, Reese, TJ and Connell versus all of the 11 females in the class. It was great, we won every single time. Molly Allen kicked me in the balls once, that was weird. She had a free kick or something, so I went to the bench, she went bonk, and I was like, I've just punted you, but you get the idea. I was like, what? Needlessly, I no-sold it, I was like...
No-sold it?
Aye. We had so many good times. Badminton, that was a great one.
I never did badminton.
Oh, badminton was so much fun. You'd practice in 2v2, and then you'd make a 4 and fight the other teams. So it's the first kind of 20 minutes would be, right, we're practicing this technique, 2v2, and then you'd form a 4, you'd move down the line and play all the other teams. We did not like badminton, we were not good at badminton, so we made our own rules. And we insisted that every team we played by those rules. The rules were, you win if you get the shuttlecock to land like that.
Oh, badminton, aye, I need to have it.
You get 1,000,000 points and you instantly win.
Yeah.
All of the other badminton rules still exist for scoring points in that, but if you do that, you get 1,000,000. So that's what we were going for. We were just going to try and get it to land on their side like that. Within the lines, we had some form of form of rules.
Decency.
And I respect everyone in this class. They accepted that rule and just let us do it, except for Connell when he was fighting the 4 women that he liked in the room, because he would want to play and show off. But Connell actually is decent at sports, so he could play badminton, he could play football, but it's not as fun as dicking about with your mates in a class, which is bringing us back to Skiving, of course. Dicking about is the most fun part of school, in or out of school.
I remember, I think the first time I skived, and it must have been before the Christmas ones, was when I had an homework to hand in that I hadn't done in religious with Mr. Maguire. And I just knew, and then Mr. Maguire and Miss Sully was one of them lads, and they wanted, you know, it's like pick your worst of the 2 of them. And I said to them, what's the point of going in just to get chewed out and not have fun? And I was like, came up with a day. And I'm like, no, I've never done it. I was kind of a bit shite bag at times. I'm like, no. So I said to my mum, I'm not going to go in next class. So I took my mum on your Skype. I never kept that secret really, until I did. Because I did it a lot more than I told her. But so I said to her, I'm not going to go in because I'm just going to get blared out. There's no point. She's already since then. And I remember going up to, there's a mount, there's to the right, there's that kind of long curve in the road that leads you back to Belmont.
Yeah.
I sat up there for the full period.
Good sky spot.
Very good, because I didn't want to walk too far, because I didn't know the area.
A lunch spot a few times, never a sky spot.
So I was like, if I walk more than 5 minutes, I'm 14, I've never been this end of the road.
I've just had a flashback that I'm going to get into after you tell this story.
So, I remember sitting up there, and I remember being texting my mum like the full way through it, like, Mum, I'm saying, oh my fucking god.
I'm trying to give it life by making it shite, essentially, to give it life. As you can see, it's working.
It's working a lot, it's still kind of not very impressive. And actually, though, it's mainly no credit for.
It's Grolsh. It's not meant to be impressive, it's meant to be alright. And so far, I'm still thinking, it's alright. Like, it's not got, the nice taste hasn't worn off yet.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not bad.
It's
still quite enjoying it.
It's currently sitting in my head into Bolton.
Yes, I'm thinking the same right now.
It's either got to go up to on it, but again, it's 3.4%.
Yeah, it's not very, like...
I think to Bolton's, it's where it sits now, and I very well think it might be where it ends, unless we get to like the third and fourth can, and it becomes
really just
but even then, I would drink it because
100%.
Because it is.
Because it's not bad. Again, it's not bad. And I actually had a really nice start. So
the question is, would I drink excessive amounts of it?
No, you couldn't.
But I would see if I saw this on draft in a pub.
Oh, I
would have to.
You'd have to try it
because it's called the Grolsh, and it was a fucking. You seen From Halls?
No.
Halls is great. Miss Caravan, God rest her fucking soul. Never skived the caravan class in my life. Never will.
I actually never skived English. I actually really liked English.
Fair. English is like the only class in third, fourth, and fifth year I could have skived easily. I mean, there was some easy skies, but like, I had Mr. McGregor.
Oh, I never liked him. He was a fucking...
Oh, I liked him in the sense that he...
I never had him, but he just seemed like a prick.
No, I mean, kind of. But he was funny. Every McGregor class was a skive, because he basically told us the answers to the exam 3 days before it and spent the entire year not teaching us. He just put on Pirates of the Caribbean 2, because it's the only DVD he had. He made many moderately racist jokes. We did a topic on Auschwitz, and Reese Rankin at the time had a skinhead. So Reese asked to go to the toilet, and he said, "Just don't go to the showers." And we're like, is that racist?
That's actually really smart. That's actually really good.
Reese skived the rest of that class. He didn't come back from the... So that led to the payoff. That led to the payoff. He must have went to the showers. And we're like, set our payoff right there, that was a planned bit. We had many physical fights in that class. I'm not joking. There was a time Reese stole something from Mr. McGregor's desk or something, and Mr. McGregor chased him round the room, grabbed it out of his hand. Reese wouldn't give, so he picked him up and dragged it out of his hand. Like, it was meant. They really liked each other. I think Reese really liked Mr. McGregor. They had kind of physical, playful banter. And by Mr. McGregor, as I say, classes were a skive, even if you were there, because you would just. I sat beside Daniel, who sat beside Reese, who sat beside Hutch, who sat beside Stephen. We just spoke the entire time. Simple. Like, Jesus.
I had the who's who at the start of my English class. I had Miss McLaren in S1.
I've got life, mate.
He does have a nice life. I had Miss McLaren in S1 following Mr. Duffin, and I was like, what a fucking run up.
You wouldn't want to leave that.
What a run up. And then in S3, Miss Clark.
That's entertaining.
And really, Miss Clark, I remember one time, not to talk too much about school, I swear there's a time when, you do everyone does a Shrek in English.
Yeah.
And I remember Harley Ferguson being like, I think he called donkey a cow. I just remember hearing Miss Clark erupt, going, that's not a donkey! So that's not a cow!
That's a donkey.
That's a donkey!
Really good.
So Miss Clark was me, I just kind of point and laugh at that. She's the only other teacher that sent me a class.
Interesting.
Because I told the truth. And I think that's quite telling of school and also life.
That is life.
I should have just lied, and it would have been a lot less boring than what I would have if I didn't.
The moral of Sky is tell the truth. brag about it.
Mhm.
Tell everyone. I know you're saying you first did a Skive, you just kind of chilled.
Just sat, and I was always in view of the school, so I knew like, alright, I'm not going too far to the
Yeah.
point. I'm not going to make it back because I was like 13. I'd never been to these areas before, so I'm like, I don't want to get too lost.
See, I didn't Skive often, but when I did, I skived good.
I was the opposite. I spent a lot, and it was just a lot of sitting about.
If I'm going to sit about, I might as well sit about in class being bold. So
Oh,
anytime I did skive, I skived for good. Can I take you to my next ever skive? I've done my first skive,
Of
so
course, let's give it a second.
second.
Give me the second. What year, time, place? Christmas.
2020.
2020.
So the first one was 2019, last day before Christmas. 2020,
Jesus.
last day before COVID.
Oh.
Myself and Daniel show up. You weren't in, because you got taken out like maybe a week before COVID, right?
I can't remember why. Maybe, hopefully.
Because you would have skived with us, but you didn't. So that tells me that your mum
I don't
was
know.
like, I swear your mum took you out of school like a week before school shut for COVID.
I honestly don't remember, but if she did, thank you, Mama, because that's fucking amazing.
That rings bells in my head, and
She might have.
that sounds like what I know of your mother.
I don't know. I don't think my mum would have done something like that though, because I mean, my mum always sent me to school with my phone there. I was hanging off.
Yeah, but you're fine. The world wasn't.
Sure, though, it wasn't.
The
Maybe
world
she
wasn't.
did. Maybe she did. I also don't remember. I
Brings
might
a-
ask her when I
brings
get
a
in.
bell.
She might have.
Because again, you would not have said no to skiving with us.
It's true. Very true.
So the day starts.
Especially in the last week of
Exactly.
COVID. Like,
Exactly. Me and Daniel, we dressed down. We just wore hoodies and a t-shirt.
like, what's the point?
Because we knew we weren't going to be in school very long. School was going to be, right, first period was Mr. McKinley, religious. And me and Daniel's plan was simple.
Fucking Mr. McKinley.
Me and Daniel's plan was simple. Spend first and second period recruiting. Spreading the love. Because my first class, I had TJ, Connell, Reese. So I'm saying to them, right, third and fourth we skive. Because me and Daniel, we had English with Miss Canavan, and she promised we'd watch Shrek 2, and we had PE to finish. We'll come back for 5th and 6th, because 5th and 6th are actually good classes. But the middle block, from break to lunch,
What?
skive.
What was
I genuinely can't remember what they were.
it?
But we just knew we were going to skive them. I've got Connell on board. Reese McMillan, the human man himself, says, you know, I could actually go with one to game to get this new game, because a game released at the weekend and he wanted it. And I was like, join us. And Reese was like, yeah. Daniel has Billy in his first class and was like, Billy, join us. And Billy said, yeah.
I had to say
Yeah.
no. Like,
Josh, Callum, they weren't on board, but they were never going to be on board because Josh and Callum at this time, they were boring individuals. They would only come out with us once a month. Daniel was the same, to be fair. Oh no, we were at ScotRail Tours time. Daniel came in every week at this time. We meet in our second class, me and Daniel, and Daniel's like, yeah, I've got Billy on board. He said Bella will come, so on and so forth. This was Naylor and item. And I was like, I've got Connell, Reese, and Daz. Oh, that's good. That's kind of good. That 6 years. I was like, right, nice. I think we might have got Tyler on board.
I don't actually remember skipping me till I fell out of Sky.
I think we might have got a Tyler
my
on
best
board as
pal.
well.
I don't know if I
Daniel
did.
would have.
I probably did. Adam, I didn't. Adam was. We always
Yeah.
fucking Sky. We just walked home.
Yeah,
That's what he said to me.
I have the lunch used with just that
We
game.
just
I
walked
remember
home.
that. We'd be blether in Miss Pollock's class next.
Mhm.
And Miss Pollock, she put on episodes of Modern Family for us to watch, and then just left the room. She came back halfway through this Modern Family episode, and she got really angry at me and Daniel for having dressed down. And she's like, it's not a dress down day, you're not allowed to wear clothes like that. Take your hoodies off, take your jumpers off. And I was like, Miss Pollock, because I am, and always will be, me and a stubborn prick. I'll fight back against any teacher if I disagree. Underneath my jumper is just a t-shirt. It is not school uniform, so therefore if I take this off,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be any
Any
different.
better.
I'm just going to be cold. And she got so angry with me, and I was like, if it's not a last day dress down day, why are you showing us Modern Family? She didn't make me take my jumper off after that. I won that fight. Because there's no coming back to me. All she could have done would say, I'm the head of the department, that. And I was like, that's just abuse of power. Like, we could have went on forever. Anyway, so me and Daniel were like, they've proved their point. Break time, we're rallying everyone, and Reese is like, I don't know, I'm gonna come.
Yeah.
We're like,
Fucking
course you aren't, Reese.
coward,
Even
man.
Connell said no at this point. This was pre-Connell skiving, so it's just me, Daniel, Bella, and Billy. Somehow we ended up at my house. Don't know how that happened. We walked into town. we dicked a bit in tune, went to Greg's, and pizza, big sausage roll, big treat for lunch, and then they went back for fourth period, I think.
Just leaving you and Daniel.
Leaving me and Daniel.
Jesus,
So
the
me and
fucking
Daniel-
plans have crumbled.
so
It's like
me-
a movie.
So me and Daniel, we had a kind of.
Epiphany.
What was interesting about this one is we knew we were going back for
Fifth.
late lunch, 5th and 6th, but we had kind of an hour and 10. So we just went a walk around Forehill and to Forehill Park. Nothing too special, but it was a glorious sunny day. There's photos from this. And in this time, I was messaging Grace. So I'm sending Grace some photos of me and Daniel as we walk. Luckily, that's how we've got these photos. And it felt like the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because this would have been one of the last times I'd see Daniel before
COVID.
So it kind of halfway, it's like, I'm glad it's just me and you here, Palson's too, walking, genuinely don't know the next time I'll see you, etc. And Grace is sending similar things of her skiving with Lauren. What a full circle time life can be, man. What a full circle time life can be.
That's crazy, the fuck.
I know. And we venture back off. We're chilling. We enjoy our last 2 periods. We cycled to Fisher on a Monday.
That was it.
That was it.
That was the day Boris.
That was. Aye, we got home at 5 and Boris made his announcement at 6. Like,
No more.
we cycled to Dunur. That's a good end, to be fair, is going to Dunur. But that was the second time I ever skived, technically speaking.
No, I've got hundreds of like wee boring wee Schneider bits. I used to just sit at the fucking. I can't remember what the buildings are called, but you know the ones that schemy as fuck.
Yes.
With the stairs and they've got
Yes.
4 doors, they've got
You're
focuses in the
boring
one.
with your skiving stories.
Mm-hmm.
Every single story I have of skiving is top tier.
Mine is just. I made pals with that guy though. I can't remember his name now, sadly. He's just come out and I think we just sat and drank tango and talked shite about how he went to Belmont and how he didn't know the teachers and all that, and I was like, quite right, mate. And then I would just sit and listen to music for hours and
Like, even the stories I'm about to get into are more entertaining.
yeah.
So
And I was just
you skive more but less good.
I went for quantity over quality. I wasn't trying to
we-
have good memories here. I just wanted it out of there.
We were quality. If we skive, we were making good use of our time.
I've had any. I remember the day got to Spar with Billy and Connell and buying a cake on reduced and eating it with our hands, and it was so fucking sweet and
I remember a
saccharine.
few of your stories.
And I remember Connell washing his hand in a puddle, and a guy walked by and looked at it really dodgy.
Classic.
I think that was a week after or before we bought Easter eggs from that same one and
Nice.
celebrated Easter together.
What a time.
That's fun.
See, these are nice stories.
Oh yeah,
These are nice.
but I'm not really any like big standouts. Like I never had like a big break where I escaped and went to Barbados
I
and back.
want to bring to you COVID-19 online learning. You see,
Oh, fuck me.
so easy to skive that.
I never done it.
Exactly. S3, I didn't do the last 3 months of that. S4, I did media. I would do English, and by do English, I mean I would do my media work during English. Maths, I registered on the maths meetings. You watched a film, played the Xbox, but maths was like the one where it's like you would get into serious like shtick if you didn't. It's weird that we can skive by being in bed in this sense, because it technically is skiving school. Art. Me and Daniel did not do, and Sophie did not do any artwork during this.
No,
So much so that there is a day where Miss Murray, I kid you not,
Showed up to you though.
shows up to our houses. She shows up to Soph's house, then Daniel's house, then here to give us art resources to do art, and we're like, sure. So, I mean, Daniel very shittily drew a picture of Volkwaren, and I drew something, don't remember it, but history was the one we would always skive. Surge's online classes. Me and Daniel peak skive in Surge's class. So it was one time Surge was telling the story of Richard Oswald, the slave owner. Philanthropist guy, owned slaves, bad man, etc. And he was telling the story about Oswald House and how they changed the name of Oswald House. Meanwhile, me and Daniel, we saw the kind of preview for this class. Walked to Auchencruive. Auchencruive House It's what they renamed Oswald House. So Surger's like, this is Oswald House, Josh White in his house doing his sweaty stuff. I mean, Daniel, like,
What was it, join the camp?
No, we put a photo in the chat of us with the very building, because the time we'd probably missed by about an hour. But yeah, we walked to the place he was talking about, and then he was telling the story about in the Scottish Wars of Independence about Loudon Hill. So me and Daniel, another one of us, at Loudon Hill during this class, because that's hands-on. We were technically doing the history by being there. We were living the history, so that's the continuation of creative skives. We'd come back to school, and third year is when I started skiving a lot.
That's when I started as well, third and fourth, because I knew I was going to leave very soon.
Fourth year I mean, because it was just back after COVID, so that would have been fourth year. Fourth year I skived the shit. Fifth year's a weird one. I've got a few skiving stories for fifth year, but nothing too big. Fourth year is when we started to get the likes of Daniel and Callum to join us, because that's when I joined you, Billy Connell. Because I remember there was a time that I joined you not often, but often at the same time. I remember there was a time you got some Empire biscuits and decided to deliver them to Daniel's grandpa and mother. I remember there being a time we would go down the Zulu barn and just sit on that kind of tree, or go to the Kincaidson Park, swing in the Kincaidson Park, classic. I remember a day where we just decided to walk the entire length of the Zulu barn.
Don't remember that day. Oh, do I?
I know Billy and Connell were there. I'm sure you were.
Was that the day Sam? Was you there? I meant Sam Bone joined us once.
I skived with Sam once, yeah. And Daniel was there, and we were in the Castlewoods Park, and this random woman was like, should you not be at school? And I'm like, no, lunch break. What are you going to do?
The only time I remember getting intervened by the public was when we went to the park during our lunch break.
Yeah.
And you were meant to be in there.
I'm phoning the
police.
police.
I'm phone the boss. It's like, what?
Pete did me randomly.
A park for children, and we are children, and said park.
Just because we're disrupting your view of daytime telly.
So one time I remember getting obstructed by the public. She has no view of school, man. Fucking mind your own business.
Myself and Dan had a brilliant skive one day. So remember when we came back from COVID, it was always double periods. We decided to skive a surge double in person, because we wanted to do some mathematics and prove a point. Because Josh White said to us, you cannot do a green walk in 90 minutes. Because we told Josh we'd done one in 90 minutes.
Being to the castle and back to the town.
Castle, psychopath. From the school to the castle, psychopath, back to the school. So me and Daniel decided that the only fair way to test that
is to leave in the first period and come back around.
No. End of break time.
Come back
we
for lunch.
Leave and be there at the table, at the spot, for them. Meaning we would have to do it in less than, what, it would have been 100 minutes would have been the time. Because it's 2 50-minute periods, it would have been 100 minutes. We successfully complete a green walk during a double period. Because our argument was, you could do so many better things, Josh White, join us. And he was like, no, I like history. And we're like, we hate history, we know you hate it. Join us, we could do a green, because Josh loves green walks. And he was like, no, you can't do that in double period. So me and Daniel were like, right, you go to history, you get your head bolted off by George Surgeon, and me and Daniel go to Greenan and back.
And we'll meet here.
And we did. And we did. Technically, we went to SD's street kitchen.
Oh. So
we didn't actually come back to the spot and wait them, we went to SD's street kitchen, and then we got them.
But needs must. But SD's is there, you don't decline.
That's some of my skiving big stories, is I always have a story to tell, but I've got 2 technicalities of skiving I want to talk to you about.
But I also want to ask, man, did you ever have an aftermath of skiving? Did you ever get into trouble? Or were you managed to fly under the radar?
This is where my technicalities come up.
Oh, let's hear it.
4th year? 5th year. You'd left. Connor left. Billy left. The skivers had left.
Right, what? The skivers. The no-gooders, the fucking useless bastards had left. Tyler was gone, I was gone, Adam was gone.
So if I asked Callum, do you want to skive? No. If I asked Josh, do you want to skive? No. If I asked Reece, do you want to skive? No. If I asked Daniel, he would often give me a maybe. Me and Daniel did a few skives in 5th year, not many.
And then he was gone by 6th anyway.
But Daniel in 5th year was really big, like mates with like Hutch and Reese in that group. So normally if you had a class with them, he'd want to stay. Alex, would he ever skive, like that kind of deal. So it was just me, kind of, and Sophie.
Holding up the front.
And Sophie. So myself and Soph, we skived quite a bit, if I'm being honest, business. And we'd go to Soph's, which was just round the corner.
That's handy.
And we would watch Netflix. We watched an entire like 10-episode Netflix series over a 10-week stretch.
Holy fuck.
I began skiving business to go to Mr. Duffin's class. Because Mr. Duffin had a free period last thing on a Wednesday and I had business last thing on a Wednesday. I would skive business, go to Mr. Duffin's class, do media work, or just blether, because Mr. Duffin is a massive wrestling fan.
Is it?
Anytime there was a wrestling show, me and him would just spend the like double period blethering about wrestling at the business, which technically isn't skiving. It's not going to class, but staying in school.
I'd say it's still playing hooky-looky.
I suppose, see if I was running the corridors, that counts as dodging. Like,
yeah, it's not dodging class.
I feel like skiving has to be leaving the premises. Like, based on the technicalities. Anyways, me and Soap would do that all the time. Sometimes Soap would come up here, we watched movies, we watched all sorts, in the because it was double periods now, so we were serving full double periods. But 5th year, we technically had a class, okay? So through the college, because we took a college class, which was 2 days a week, but every class was 3 days a week. So we had a double period on a Friday between break and lunch, where we were meant to go to Miss McLaren's class for a mental health class. Me and Soph went once.
Well, I haven't done it. Curiosity.
When me and Soph went, Miss McLaren, who I hadn't seen since 1st year, genuinely just questioned how I went from being a quiet, timid boy in 1st year to now having no-showed every single one of these, and she just spoke briefly about mental health for a bit. It was like anxiety, I think we'll talk about that week or something. And then she was like, see if you don't come back again, I'm not going to care. And we're like, we will go back to watching movies. Because the only reason we went this day is it was apocalyptic weather. Soph's house was a minute away. So even if it was raining...
because she stayed in the van by Belmont Stores, did she know?
Yeah. Even if it was raining... If it was raining, we'd go.
But this was a different level. It wasn't even worth that minute.
Like, exactly. So we decided, you know what? We'll go to this weird class. And also funny to see what it was about. I remember we had to draw pictures of something. I can't remember what it was. A picture to represent your mental health or something to mean sort of turned into a piss to take. Anyway. Someone today said piss take and I was like, that's funny because that's why is there a capital P? It's normally all lowercase. Who cares?
So
we're not consistent in branding. It looks roughly like that.
But no, did you see we're going aftermath for skiving?
So we would go to Soph's house on this double block. Yes, and we'd do anything. But then there became a time when Soph would actively start going to the mental health class to use it to study for other classes.
It's pretty smart.
Come exam time, like it was about 3 months before exam, Soph was struggling with a few classes, so she'd either go to the library or here, and we'd no longer watch movies or TV. And this is when I began using that double period and lunchtime and break. So 15 minutes, 100 minutes, 50 minutes.
Jesus.
That to go and visit my gran and papa. They stay in Fort Hill.
So every week, just buy it.
I would avoid this. Take the 20-minute walk, go see them. We'd have lunch, we'd have lovely blethers, we'd have shortbread, we'd watch something on the telly, be a nice catch. Every week for about 3 months, I'd do this. And my period after lunch was such. And there was one time I was sat in Sulgy's class, just kind of twiddling my thumbs, Lauren up the back corner, still hadn't really spoke to her at this point. And I get Mr. Sulgy, I get we ring on the buzzer. And he's like, right. Ryan, can you please go to Mr. McLean's office? At this point, Mr. McLean was acting head. Because we were still searching for a new head teacher. So I go down to Mr. McLean's office.
I forgot she left.
I sit down. She left when you left. So.
Miss Beatty? No, that was the old one.
I can't remember her name. Tracy? I know her first name was Tracy.
Stuart.
Miss
Stuart, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah. And I'm like, hi, Mr.
McLean, hello.
McLean. And he's like, where have you been every Friday between these hours? And again, you have two options. Lie. Because I know Miss McLaren would cover for me. If I said, oh, I'm Miss McLaren's, Miss McLaren would say, Yeah, that's. I'll tell the truth.
Say what he has.
Oh yes, because it's that silly mental health class, I've actually got my grandpapa's for lunch. And I kid you not, this man genuinely looked flabbergasted, paused, and was like, "You can't do that." Almost like he was expecting me to come up with some elaborate lie and was baffled that I just told him, "My grandpapa's having lunch." And I was like, "It's nice we have lovely chats, it's a nice catch up." And he was like, "You can't do that. You have to go to Miss McLaren's." And that's when the hack became, you go to Miss McLaren, you say, "You're right, Miss McLaren, mark me down in the register, I'm away to my grand's." And that's when it no longer became Skiving, I think.
Yeah.
It's when you'd show up to Miss McLaren's, you'd say, and Miss McLaren would sign off because she's a good person.
I think it was
I've
like
got my
strategic skiving.
Aye.
Because it's like skiving without the risk.
Yeah, me and Soph also skived the college many times. We just wouldn't go and we'd stay at hers and watch films, which doesn't feel the same because that's skiving college, and skiving college is completely different. Like, I skived college to go to Prague. Sorry, I skived uni, didn't tell anyone, and went to Prague. I skived uni and went to Centre Parks, didn't tell anyone.
It's different when you're an adult, because it's like you've no obligation to be there. Like,
there's
what are they going to do?
There's no penalty for it.
You're an adult. I mean, I'm the same. So you just got called in and it's like, "Please don't do that," and then you're like, "Okay," and then you still proceed to do it just under guidance by my head. No, I got on bother. I got one of those little sheets, one of those little fucking like prisoner, like ball and shackle.
See, again, strategic skiving.
Mine was very good. The only reason I got cut out is because none of the teachers obviously knew I wasn't going, but no one cared until my computing teacher that I never went to looked into it and was like, "And how come you're like in on this period and then you miss it and you're in here?" And he's like, "Oh, I reported that to the guidance." I was like, "You single-handedly fucked my whole flow."
Oh, did you ever get one of those sheets where you had to get ticked off?
Yeah,
when you were there? Oh, the full shebang.
Because he was reporting it. Otherwise, if he didn't say fuck all, the rest of the teachers didn't say fuck all.
Because
they would have been sound.
Why do you care? I don't care for your class. And I mean, again, I was doing things with my time, but you.
I would just go on my phone. I'd do whatever. I mean, that wasn't bothered. It was better than sitting in class. I fucking hated the class. And then I went to Miss Rowan's. I didn't get called into the head. I got called into my house head. Yeah, house head, which was Miss Rowan, who is my least favourite person in the world.
She was.
I would sooner have a pint with Joseph Stalin than I would Miss.
I love pint with Stalin. Stalin is fascinating. Can you imagine sat down with a pint of Grolsh?
I'd sooner have a pint with Hitler than Miss Rowan.
I mean, I'd like that because then you'd just break his neck or something.
I hate Miss Rowan. I genuinely hate that.
Your point is made.
I hate that woman. No, the point isn't made. You don't understand. You don't understand. So I go into a class. No, I didn't go into a room. I didn't like it at this point anyway. But I didn't hate her as much as I do now. So I go into a room and she's giving it to me stinking, man. She just talks to me like you want to talk to a human. And then she gives me one of them sheets. And it's like a timetable you're in. And you have to go and get it signed every now and then. But I won in the end. Because I always fucking win. So it was just before COVID had happened. I've got this wee sheet for, I think it was a month. So I meant to get it signed every single class. Every single class. Doesn't change my day, as you say. And it was like the week before I had to hand it in to show if I've been in every class or not. Schools get shut. And that full thing goes out the window. And I was like, once again, I've done it again.
Can I tell you, before we go for a pissed break, an anecdote that really annoyed me.
An anecdote?
Well, whatever it is. A skiving story that really annoyed me.
Mm-hmm.
My final day of school.
Final day of S6?
S5, I left in S5, mate.
You left in S5?
Yeah.
Did you and Daniel both leave in S5?
No, Daniel left in S6.
Oh, I got them mixed up. I thought you got
I went to college. I got the hell out of school. I
See,
did not like it.
Listen, Dad, don't get it. Like, you left in S5 and I left in S4. Yeah, we're not that far academically behind folk that stay on to S6 and did advanced ties and all that. Like, how's that work out? I mean, you're in uni. Josh just got uni. No throwing shade at Josh.
Life's life.
But it's like, how's that work though? You can that way. Yeah, I mean, like, folk are like, oh, you leave school, you're
so I had the college course I was doing in S5, because you had the option in S5 to do college courses 2 days a week. I think it was, you'd leave school at lunchtime, you'd go to the college, and instead of finishing at 4, you finished at 5. So it was like an extra hour on your day. It was 2 to 5 or something. Maybe 1 to 5, something like that. Long class, twice a week. And then I used to go to crimes because I'm not got that mental health class. I'm at college, but I'm not depressed yet. That'll come next. I'd do that, and that's when I'd meet John and Rich, my lecturers. And because I'd done that class through school, and because I met them, they were like, see if you want to skip 2 years of college, you can. So I had the choice, 6 years of school, or skip 2 years of college and go straight to the final year of college, which would immediately get me into uni. If I waited the extra year, I wouldn't have had that option. So like, I was leaving school regardless, whether that was get a job or go down a year in college. I was leaving school, I was done with it. Like, getting an advanced higher English was not going to change my life. I wasn't going to.
No, that's what I don't get. It's like, I just don't get it. Focus.
Someone like Reese, your Stevens, I think it benefited them. But see, every single person in Essex, and this is the only thing Josh Wright would have contributed to this conversation, regret it in hindsight. They would much rather live in S5. I think S5's the best year. Or 4th, depending on what it is you want to do.
Because I mean,
anyway, I do need this piss break. So we can re-kick this conversation.
Sure.
This is my final day of school, lunchtime. I've got my final double period coming up. I have 2 options. Alex's techie class with Reese. And see, because it was like the last day before school was over for the year and I was gone, Daniel was like, do you think Miss Lawson would just let me join? And Reese was like, yeah. So Daniel went and joined them. So I had 2 options. Just join a random techie class with my mates, Daniel, Alex, Reese, for my final period of school ever. Or finally do the one thing I had been avoiding my entire school career. Go to Mr. Surgeon's class. To be continued. That's the theme song of Barcelona, is it not? That's like...
Yeah.
That was meant to be a flashback song. Anyway, flashback to the first... to timetable problems in 4th year / beginning of 5th year. Got my timetable, and I had maths, Nat 5 down on my timetable. Now, I had passed maths in 4th year, Nat 5, and was baffled as to why it was on my timetable again. So I go to Mr. Ward. This is my meeting with Mr. Ward. I've been to some maths classes. It was a great maths class. I was sat beside Daniel and Josh. But I've passed this already. Why is it on my timetable? Mr. Ward was like, well, Ryan, that's because you have 2 choices. Reset Nat 5 maths, I've passed it, there's no point to that. Or do the one thing you want to do less than anything else. And I was like, just don't say it. Higher history. I hated history throughout school. Hated it in 2nd year. It was alright in 1st year. Because everything was alright in 1st year. Like, it was all new, it was novelty. Hated it in 2nd year, hated it in 3rd year. Put it down as my backup for 4th year. Somehow got it. I swear it was my backup in 3rd year as well. But in 5th year, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And Ward was like, right, that's the kind of way that timetable is laid out. Is that you've got those 2 choices. Reset a class you've passed, and I was like, well, I don't get anything from that. I might as well do just higher history. Now bear in mind, this was the last day before school finished. And this was the class after break. And I was like, I'll do it with Surge again. I'd already done my goodbye to Surge, because myself, Sam, Daniel, Billy had a bit where and Kid Reed would always have this bit where we'd show up like 10-15 minutes late to Surge's classes. We'd just walk the corridors and then show up late, and Surge would be like, squish your cables. Josh, like, already there. Because the first 15 minutes of Surge's classes, he just rambled and yapped. So it's like, there's not even any point to go. It's a bit like the comedians. You seen the Billy Connolly, I think it's an audience of Billy Connolly bit, where some guy gets up and goes to the toilet and then he comes back and Billy was like, I was just filling for time whilst you were away, sorry you missed nothing. Like, just to make light of it. That's basically Surge's classes. So Ward was like, right, are you sure you're going to do this? And I'm like, I want a qualification instead of getting the same qualification twice. And he was like, fair enough. Knowing full well in my head, I am just going to walk straight out of the doors at the bottom of the guidance, walk home, not come back for the rest of the day, avoid this class, and make it 4 months' time's problem. By the time the exams and the summer had finished. And Mr. Wald, because he knows me. He was like, I'll walk you to your class. And I was like, oh, that's like the most painful words you could say to someone. So he walks me. He doesn't just walk me to the door. He walks me in.
Jesus.
And says to Mr. Surgeon, look who's decided to join you. And Mr. Surgeon, alright, I'm glad to have you back. I didn't think I'd see you. You know the drill. Get the table, get the scusher. 15 minutes late, as always. It's alright. I'm about to get into the class. And I cannot help but laugh at this situation. Like, I found this really funny. Just everything. The fact that I'm now back doing history after saying I wouldn't do it, I didn't want to do it. I'd already had my farewells to Surge. I swear me and Daniel wrote him like a shitty card or something. Like, I'd been planning to Skype this class to the degree that I'd messaged my mother saying I was coming home. Like, it wasn't even a Skype, it was I'm coming home. It's the last day of school. I only went in to fix my timetable because you don't go in on the last day of school. Daniel, I think, was Skiving, etc. Like, everyone was not there. So I didn't have anything for lunch, etc. And this man, Mr. Ward, walked me to class. I found it so funny. So I'm sat up the back in my usual seat. He put me in my seat from third year. I am laughing my head off. Now, this was the first day of school. But the girl sat maybe 6 seats down that way. This was the first time I ever met Lauren Graham. And she is just seeing me laughing my head off to the degree Surge goes maybe 20 minutes into his class. Ryan, do you want a cup of water? Do you want to take a walk? Do you want to go to the toilet and get control of yourself? And I'm like, aye, alright. So I'm laughing my ass off. I go to the toilet and I do a core memory for every man, which is staring into a mirror and laughing. Core memory. I come back to class, I get my bag and I'm straight out the doors. But I just is falling again. Back to present day from the story we were telling, of course, before the piss break. My last day of school, I have two choices. Surgies or my mates in that techie class. And I turned to Callum and Josh, who both had Surge this year, well that year, and I say, Callum, Josh, I'm going to go to Surgies. Because I think that's a funnier ending than a class with mates, is to end it doing the one thing I spent my entire academic years avoiding. That's funnier in my head. And Josh White says to me, I'm just going to go home. And so began the first and only time that Josh White ever skived, when I asked him to come to class with me, and Callum joined him. Josh and Callum skived on that day. They left. So I went to Surgees alone. I mean, it was the last day. That class was essentially the Ryan show, as Cameron Mackenzie, Oliver, McJimsey, Helen Montana, like, just told stories of my time at school, what they remember of me, and Surge told stories of what he remembered of me, and I was like, this is really weird, this feels like a tribute, because everyone else was staying on and doing advanced art history. I was the only one that was leaving and leaving school, so the class was just dedicated to me. It was so weird. But that was the only time Josh White and Callum ever skived school, was when I wanted them to join me.
That's not right, man. I'll be grassed him and say, my son, don't trust these boys.
I probably, I don't remember doing it because I remember my ego was lifted, but I probably did.
Well, I fucking want to grass them right in at the same time. Don't trust them. Those bricks. They should be fucking in here with me.
That was my last ever class. I remember Surge offered to squish my table after I was 10 minutes late. That one was demoralising because I showed up late myself. Normally I'd have people to show up late. So after I came back and I was in this class with Lauren for the first time, and me and Lauren got leathering, I'd always show up like 10 minutes late with Lauren, and I kept that bit going even without Daniel and Sam and that. And Mr. Surgeon always blamed Lauren, said she was a bad influence, and I was like, I've been showing up late for an entire year. It was very, very amusing. I've got another one for you, another Skiving story. And this one, I think, is the most impressive.
I've got a kind of funny one I can rattle off as well, actually. A very short one, but a funny one.
I want to take you back to the year, very nice, 2013.
The fuck, Ryan? I don't even know you then.
Primary 5. Okay. So in primary 5, after lunch on a Thursday, we had Mr. Thompson, music teacher. He would do his singing.
Fuck him.
So I had terrible anxiety in primary. I'm not going into a mental health spiel. Maybe one day we'll do piss takes mental health.
Yeah,
We'll sit
that's when we're like 9 pints down. And
yeah,
we're
like we'll have a little group therapy session. Actually, you'd have to pay us. A men's mental health charity would have to sponsor us
Oh,
to
that'd be
actively
class.
talking about men's mental health, because men's mental health can go do one.
I don't think it's sponsored after saying that.
I just said pay me to talk about it. Like, I'll change my opinion if you pay me.
Oh, 100%.
True of most opinions. I had terrible anxiety. I genuinely I could not eat food in front of people. I couldn't eat food in the dinner hall. That caused me great anxiety. So I had my own special room at lunchtime that I'd go to, and I always get to bring one person with me. The classic thing. It was me and Keith Hartley. We'd always go to this room, and then for lunch, for the 40 minutes, we'd have our lunch. Same thing every day. Talk about the same things every day. Bad anxiety. I needed that routine-esque thing. Terrible thing for me. I used to not be at school because I just refused to go. So on and so forth. Anyway, Mr. Thompson's on Thursday. Right after lunch. So if we just lost track of time in my special room, we wouldn't have to go to Mr. Thompson's class. In fact, we would have to go to the bit after that, which was like 50 minutes of nothing. So from like 12 o'clock right the way through to say 1:30, because we always show up conveniently before class ended and just be like, we lost track of time again. I skived in primary 5 music class with Mr. Thompson. I didn't skive it in primary 6. I did go to that one. I lip synced every single time, but in primary 5 we skived every single one of those classes, bar like 2 or 3 at the start, and we were like, this is horrible, so we skived the rest of them. So skiving since primary, and I think that's the definitive primary skive, because there's no real way to skive in primary.
No, you can't escape, because you can't have like a
You can't
young
just-
boy
you
out in
can't
the
just
streets
sort of-
by himself.
Although I used to roll home lunches because the primary's 2 minutes that way and I'm up this way. So sometimes I would just not go back in the afternoon. So like, I think I skived primary. I think I
That's
somehow
successful.
skived primary.
That sounds pretty successful to me.
Which I think has to be the winner of the skive. But best skive memory. Best skive memory has to be me and you on that final day before Christmas, or me and Daniel before COVID, just because that one had more weight to it. Because, well,
True, it was the last time seeing folk for a long time.
if you would mind doing some
Of course.
leathering up, I'm going to hunt a photo.
Of course, I've already done that. No, I think one of the funny memories I've got was in I didn't fully skive it, but I used to like coming in late because it's kind of like fuck you to them all. But I had a really nice Spanish teacher, Miss Kennedy. But I used to just go, I was like, man, I was really for a Morrison's lunch.
Oh,
So I was
Morrison's
like,
lunch.
man, I'm for some hot chicken, some chips, and some tomato sauce. So I go to Alan Gillespie. I go, Alan, you for joining me to Morrison's? He's like, oh, guy, sign me up, sign me up. So I'm walking up with him, and I think maybe just before we get there, it kind of clicks on, and he's like, oh, you want to go like 10 minutes to like get back? And I'm like, right, that was a plan. He's like, no. And he starts running up Belmont Road, running up the stairs. I mean, I sauntered like I owned the place up these set of stairs. I meant being in that middle atrium by the library before the Spanish corridor. Stood there and I mind up just booking it, and I was like, man, that's embarrassing. That was bad, man. Like,
That was us in first year, to be fair. Like, it really doesn't matter.
so I remember that. I have that as a funny memory. That wasn't a Sky, that was just a late show. I used to like doing that as well, so it's kind of like a fuck you to them.
That was us in history. Aaron, have a sip from the can. That's really nice from the can.
That's quite nice actually.
It might actually, now that I've had it in
I was thinking
the
it was
glass,
better for the
that's
glass.
actually, because this can, I mean, it's not full, but it's not empty.
See if that
so
was
like
cold, oh my god. I think that hit the fucking spot. Like that's like kind of Centre Park's beer, like when you drink throughout the night
Yeah.
that don't get sick of, unlike tennis.
I was looking for a different image, but I found this one instead. Which, as you can see,
Nah, from the day.
look how bloody young you are, man.
That's the exact picture I have in my head of that day. That's how I remember that day.
That was one of the picture
That's
images.
what I was talking about. With a dark cloud in the sky.
Yeah,
That
it was
exactly. That's by the
awful.
fucking low green. That's
Yep.
exactly how I remember that day.
I'm on the hunt for the one of me and Daniel on this guy day before COVID, and I found one image from that day, but it's not the best image. There's a really good image from actually Daniel's close friends on Instagram. It's probably the best way to get that photo.
Ooh. See the amount of photos I've got from Daniel's story as well. I've just screenshotted it and clipped it into like 6 different images. It's actually fucking mental.
Where are we? Daniel Murdoch.
So I think you've changed a lot looks wise since like S3. No?
Not the
Neither.
size.
I think
I've changed my hair.
Like,
I've changed my hair.
who do you
that's
think's
it.
changed the most looks wise?
Ooh. Reese. Or Josh. It's all hair. It's really all hair.
I would have to say Connell. With that goatee he's got going on nowadays and the long hair.
Still hair. That's just Connell. Well, that's still like Reese. That's. I think if we look at this image from 2020, Daniel the exact bloody same. Me, you the exact same. Connell and Reese
It
have
might be
genuinely.
Reese,
I look that old now. Daniel looks like that now. If you told me that image of me, Daniel, and you was from last week, I'd believe you. But that image of Reese and Connell, absolutely
like,
not.
fuck off.
Whereas Josh had a quip.
Oh, we don't go there. We don't bring that up. Trying another Skiving stories. I must have some. I just remember the walks being really good.
I've got a few good. I've got one last Skiving story that's came to head actually, but I'm on the hunt for this image. Come on.
Actually, I remember going to the beach park where Adam one day and just sitting at the top of the slide, and it was like empty, like the world was ours, and that feeling, it was just brilliant. As you know that day, me and Adam, I think Adam might have skipped himself, and he walked all the way home just because Dad had to drive him all the way back to school and say fuck off, you're going in, and then he walked him all the way in. His name's Fader.
Sunny day, the middle of Fort Hill.
Is that the day?
That was the message to Grace and Lauren. Just, that's what we showed up to school in, because who cares? I had a hat on to school, I love that. Well done, Ryan. Another minor detail is, like, see after COVID, I lost my tie, and I don't think I wore a tie until...
That's like prime school. As the months went on, you lost more and more.
Like, I showed up in, I wore my trousers, because I actually liked wearing the school trousers, I thought they were very comfy.
I wore black jeans.
And then I would just wear either a shirt or a t-shirt, depending on what it was, just a jumper or a zipper.
I like the school shirt. I like collar shirts. I've always wear a collar shirt. I'd usually wear like a Leyland Scott jumper.
In fact, this was one of my main school tops, the cutter and buck. I've no idea what cutter and buck is, but I wore this all the time to school, just on top of t-shirts, because nobody cared.
No.
And it was only genuinely the graduation award ceremony. I really didn't want to go to this graduation award ceremony that they did. I won like, I think it was top in media or something, and I didn't want to go to it. But Mum and Dad were like, oh, you've got to go, Gran and Papa will be there. And I was like, okay, I'll go. Me and Alex, we did
That's like prime, like not manipulation, but kind of like
motivation.
It kind of like it makes the child like any occasion.
Amy had one as well, so it was like, the both of us would be together for it. There's an image on screen now. I phoned in, I put my glasses on, I didn't even use my lenses. Me and Alex did a green walk during the day and we were going to do one at night. We did do one at night after it. New headmaster rambled for so long, they didn't announce me and Maisie McGuigan's name, so it was a whole thing. But eventually me and Maisie get to go up, and I was quite happy I went because Mr. Duffin, media teacher, I was first in media, or whatever it was the rankings, whatever he chose me as first in media. And the prize was a £15 Amazon gift voucher.
Oh, what?
So I'm very glad I went.
Oh, fuck.
Like,
£15 up?
I will take that because I wasn't a sweat in media. I was just good at it because, well, I study film in front of a camera right now. Like,
I think media seems really interesting. I wish I'd done something.
Media's good. I think you'd have benefited from a media class.
Yeah,
it's just genuinely a year of talking about films and writing about films, and that was always the best part of English. Was
I
when
wish
you were
I
in a film
got.
thing.
Yeah, I do wish I stayed on and took media. That's like one of my bigger regrets.
You could have taken it in fourth year.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard. I don't
had it in
I
fourth
don't think I
year.
had much of an interest back then, but now looking back on it, I was like, man,
Yeah.
see if I could go back and redo that.
I had it in fourth year for Nat 5 and higher in fifth year.
I would have took it all the
Very
way,
enjoyable.
man, because it's just
And then I started off to uni and college for actual
accreditation.
film. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Aaron.
What's the thing?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you seen the film?
No.
Changed that.
This was day off.
Yeah. Myself and Connell skived together once. One of the last. It was the last day before summer, so again, it doesn't really count. But we did meet at school, go to a period, and then skive, then leave.
Valid.
Our plan was simple. At 5 o'clock, we were meeting Rachel and we were in Amy Valence to play bowling. It was about 10:30. We just had to get to them. We're thinking about it. It was a sunny day. We went greening as you do. This was the first day that we ever got into the castle.
Really?
Yeah, because we went a walk to Greenan, and this would have been a few weeks after that. It was the first day me and Connell ever successfully got into the castle. We climbed in, there was a guy in a tent and he offered us drugs, so we immediately left.
Jumped out.
And we were like, oh, we got into the castle. I was sitting there, can you imagine if there wasn't a tent there, that kind of part. We go to Belial, we do the classics. We go to Poundland, and in Poundland there is a DVD, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I hadn't seen that film in years. I always said it was my favourite film, because I have so many childhood memories attached to watching it. It's one of those movies I watched over and over and over and over again. Bought it for £1, and I was so happy. That DVD is in there and it's seen walls. Anyway, we then go to the Welly, taking Chippy. Get a Chippy. I got him a hamburger supper. First ever hamburger supper. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Connell got a sausage supper, I think. We get Amy and Rachel, well, I'm just going, they were like, nothing. I'm like, damn right, it's just guy. Play bowling, play pool, do the classics, go a walk. You get the idea. Connell was trying to fire in, etc. We venture off, that's the end of that part. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a movie about Ferris Bueller, okay? And he's a high school student in America, and he's like, I'm gonna skive. Not using the word skive, of course, I'm gonna take the day off. So he gets one of his pals, he gets his girlfriend, and they take the day off. And they go to an art museum, a sports game, a parade. They just tick off a bunch of big things that you can do, and they make it home just before the parents arrive. This is the only one of these skiving stories that I don't think I've since told my parents. One day, because this is normally my skiving stories when I do something big was related to something. This is the only time I think I can say myself, Daniel and Connell just picked a day. We just picked a random Wednesday, say, in the middle of the school week, and decided it was going to be our Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Because I knew I was leaving. This was in my kind of swan song of school. I knew I was leaving. I had like maybe 2 months left of school, and I'd always wanted to do my own Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Just take a day off and go to the city. So 9 o'clock we meet at school. We go to Reggie, we sign up in Reggie. We fire all out the doors. We get Connell, we walk to the train station. We get on the train and we go to Glasgow. So we skive school went to Glasgow. And in that time we thought, well, what do they do in Ferris Bueller's Day Off? They go to an art gallery. Kelvin Grove. So we are skiving school in Glasgow in Kelvin Grove. They go to a sports game. So we found a random ass football, like under fives thing, watched it and was like, I suppose that counts as ticking it off the list. They went for a very nice meal. So we went for a lovely meal in Spoons. Because at the end of the day we're still children. We just went for a mad one. It was an absolutely brilliant day, and we passed the Hydro, that counts as a concert I suppose, and passing the building. Yeah, but the whole point was you have to make it in by the deadline at like 6, and we did. So, brilliant day, so I'm very glad to say that I've got my own Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh, there's a bit where they do the parade and they sing Twist and Shout by the Beatles. So we thought, we have to find a parade. It's Glasgow, you can find a protest for anything. So we found a protest about fucking pollution or something, and we watched that. That counts. We recreated Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm very glad to say that I've done that.
I can't believe you did that. Man. I went to Glasgow myself one day when I skived.
I remember that actually, yeah. You left school, it was...
Ah, no, there we go.
Connell wasn't at school, sorry. It was me and Daniel that skived school, and Connell would have just joined us for the day.
I was probably an apprenticeship by then. I think that's what I was doing. But I went to Glasgow myself once, but I didn't really done much because it was. I was like, this place is like, it's too big, man. I don't know where I'm going.
Was that your first time in Glasgow? Like,
It was my first time in Glasgow. Yeah. Like being proper, I'd never been to Glasgow
not fair.
at all until I was like, I was about to go.
I think that's me blew my bubble on Skiving stories.
I've never got great ones to be fair. No one's come to mind.
Again, it's quantity over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's quality. I mean, I say
I never did it for the purpose of having like a day. I just did it for the purpose of going to school.
which is the right way to do it. Whereas if I was Skive, I wanted 3 for a reason. Because if you were completely with Mr. McCain, why did you not go to the class? And you said, I didn't want to, not good enough. When I said to him, go to my papa's for lunch, he was genuinely stumped. And the only thing he could say is, you can't really do that. And I was like, I'm gonna.
Well, I remember one time going home, getting walking on back to the tune, getting a number 3 for the tune, back to my house. The house was empty, I was at work. Got upstairs, played my Xbox. Came to 9 o'clock though. 4 o'clock hits. Mum was getting home. Turn everything off. Going out the back door. Jumping the fence. Going all the way down the long way. My mum gets home. And I walk in. She's like, oh, how's school? And I was like, oh, it's fucking usual. And I also mind waiting. Walking all the way back home. But then waiting where the school bus arrives. And waiting till the school bus comes. And then getting on with coming at you and getting peasy off it and walking in with him. That way I arrived at the exact same time I normally just to kind of I played the system.
Damn good. I do remember actually S1 skiving stories as well. Like now that I think back to it, I skived a lot more than I thought I did.
Have you ever seen your attendance? Mine was 83%.
Attendance was bullshit.
Mine was 83, and I was like, that's a lot higher than I thought.
It's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense because luckily a lot of teachers are actually just they're just nice people. They let you away with it. It's like, but first year, every single lunchtime we'd go to Daniel's house. Myself, Josh, Callum, and Daniel.
Mm.
Sometimes we just wouldn't come back. We'd just go and we'd play Daniel's Xbox for. I say we wouldn't come back. Josh and Callum would go back. Sometimes me and Daniel would just stay.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's me got primary 5 ticked off.
S1,
S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. I was never the quantity man.
Quantity
always,
was the what?
Always the quality, because every single class at school, I kid you not, something would happen.
So there's always something going on.
And I personally feel like most of the classes I skived history, all the mental health one, it would be me making it happen. So I depraved everyone there of the moments, not the other way around. Behind the curtain, because that's what this entire series is, we had 3 ideas for episode discussions today. I'm not going to say that too because I'm assuming they'll come up and it's just me and Aaron again, because if it's Josh we've got many ideas, but if it's just the 2 of us we've got a few. And skiving school was one of the subjects I had down, and I feel that it would not last
longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a quicken. I'm so glad that
we chose to do it,
because we've been.
I only decided when
in the moment. I know. I know. You can watch me panic about what you're about to say. Good choice. I look forward to the other 2 that we've got planned.
Very much.
But this is one of the piss takes where I think we've stayed the most on topic.
We really have. Actually, really have. Been on topic since Beacon Blue, which was an hour ago.
I know, we've been on topics. Like, if anything, my side story about my career in history at school, but then again, that's relevant because that's the subject I skived the most. I skived it with Daniel, I skived it when I got a chance, I skived it myself sometimes. I skived it to the Greenan. I was very angry when Josh and Callum didn't skive it. We showed up 15 minutes late every single time. Like, that was the class that I skived the most. In business negotiation stuff and the mental health one, that wasn't real.
No, that's
in terms of quantity, I skived every one of those except 1, which is maybe 40 classes I skived. 39, say.
But I never had classes that I would always skive. I had classes that I would never skive, and I would never skive art. I really liked art.
That's why you skived better, because you skived properly. I skived almost strategically. Yeah, I wanted to use my time, and I skived the same class every time.
You planned them.
Business, history, mental health. And the best part is, I really liked the business. I just didn't like the teacher.
Oh, that is what makes it or breaks it. That's what makes it or breaks it. I would skive art if it was Miss Francie, but see, I had Miss Money, I wasn't skiving.
Because I went to the business enough to understand everything that was going on and get an A in the exam. Like, say there was 4 classes a month, I'd skive 2. Like,
you get the G-state and then you fuck off. You come back, get a G-state and go away. That's the best way of doing it. But no,
or the other one, which is sometimes classes like, we'll do this over 2 periods. I'll do it in one and then not come to the next. Which was the business and history way. I remember our art class from, I think it was 3rd year, it was yourself, myself, Adam, Sophie, Daniel, and Ryan.
I had 2 back-to-back stellar art classes.
Like, there's no
way that year, was that S3?
That's S3, yeah.
S4 was me, I swear I had Adam again, and I had Peasy as well at one point. Well, I might be near.
Oh, it's the other way around, sorry, we were S4.
We were S3 and S4, sorry. And I had Adam in S3 then. I haven't been at Tail with like Alex as well, because like I had an elite art setup, so but even that, I wouldn't have skipped it, even if it was myself, because it was like, I never skipped English. Just because I liked the topic, and I liked Miss Grant, even though she was a polarising figure, a lot of folk didn't like her, but I always got along with her, and I always, I think I just tried, and I think the fact that I tried was what made it, and so I never skipped art, I never skipped English, but apart from that, I can't think, I liked HE as well. I always skip it sometimes because HE is HE.
Not really.
Like you don't need to go every class. You're not missing out. You're not gonna be like,
oh no,
catch
I
up.
didn't make the cookie crumble.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect. But I like HE.
Do you ever just get random like compulsions, maybe once every 2 years, to watch Britain's Got Talent clips?
Not in a long time. When I was younger, I used to like those little BGT clips.
So myself and Daniel, we talk about this sometimes at the pub. See, like every 2 years, it's that length of time between. And you can't sleep. It's like 2 in the morning, you're lying in bed, you've been trying to sleep for 2 hours, so you go on your phone, and for some reason recommended Golden Buzzer, best moments, 50 minutes, and you just watch it. And there's that lady that comes on and she's like, and I'm good at cooking crumble. That's
what's
why
her name? Oh, I remember the one, I say something and you say G, honey.
Honey, G,
honey,
G.
you
Yeah,
say G.
that's X Factor. Talk to your meme.
I remember that.
But
I remember the cooking crumble.
That came to me from you mentioned
everybody's
economics.
Good at cooking something.
And I'm good at cooking crumble. David Williams
I've
straight
got
in the
some
golden
in the oven.
Would you like some? David Williams Golden Buzzer. And then the next day you wake up and you're still kind of in that mood. So you spend the next day watching Angriest Contestants.
Yeah.
And it's like folk shit talking Simon Cowell.
I remember the one, the woman hitting the other women.
The 2 women that are awful and they have a fight, the sisters, yeah. It's Britain's Got Talent / X Factor clips. Or it's Saturday Night Takeaway, like Undercover, where it's like, oh, we were in Claudia Bickelman's ear and we made her say sex in front of a random man. Oh, we hid in a vending machine. Like that stuff every like 2 years. I get into those phases. I mean, Danny do it all the time. Well, I say it all the time. We talk about it all the time. We do it every 2 years.
Like the reality TV phase.
I'm always in reality TV, but it's specifically Britain's Got Talent and Saturday Night Takeaway that comes up every 2 years. Don't Tell the Bride is one of the greatest television shows ever made.
Oh, I know talking about it. I'll be telling about that. The guy went on a plane or a yacht. Was that a plane?
He was like, I think for my wedding we should do it on a plane.
And like all the money just went on the boys' stag thing.
And it was like
about £2 went to the women's hen.
We'll put £300 in the women's hen. Do £3,000 because you get 14 grand to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the man has to plan it to do the full wedding. Yeah, it's like we'll put £300 on the women's stag. We'll do it at the local pub. We'll do it at Willie Lasso's, and we'll get them around the shots. That'll be the treat.
Lovely, mate.
Big surprise round the shots.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
£3,000. Me and the boys going to Prague. Just in a car from Prague to.
I think that ends marriages, surely.
Well, it's a good way to test love.
Very true.
It's a really good way to test love.
Getting married in the Willie Lasso's class box.
No, most of the marriages are insane. One of the guys was like, I think our wedding should be to set a world record. Alright, fair enough. A world record which you can associate with your marriage, that's kind of almost sweet.
Yeah, kind of cool.
What world record? Most pigs in attendance at a wedding. And the best part is the guy failed his world record attempt. and
Who'd
just
have
had a
fucked bet it before them?
just a shit ton of pigs at a wedding. Like baffling type stuff. I love Don't Tell the Bride or Fat Families. That's a great bit of British TV. Or Take Me Out. Great British TV.
Fucking wife swap. Is it wife swap and house swap?
Wife swap. What is it? Rich holiday, poor holiday, or
I
something.
never seen that one. I remember house swap. You got the Pobbies going to the big house.
The rich holiday, poor holiday is where they do the similar idea. Except it's like they take a rich people's holiday and give it to the poor family, and the poor family have to do the rich people's holiday.
That sounds
And
cool. I've
it's
never
like-
seen that.
I love that. I'm pretty sure they go to centre parks in one of them. And it's like, is that the rich or the poor? I don't know whether that's rich or poor. It's like, is Dubai cheaper than centre park?
Fucking possible.
Certainly nowadays it is. Yeah, but
Fucking
bit of
possible.
little commentary for you. That's a callback to last episode when we talked about the prices of centre parks. Yeah.
Along with a nice bottle of Stella.
What's that on?
It is. Uh-oh. 20 past.
Wrap up time.
Very much so.
Wrap up time. So
I'll get
good
right
blather. Good blather about skiving. Any sum up some skiving?
No, I think we've kind
I think
of
we've
covered
nailed
every
everything.
fucking word.
I think that's the takeaway. Quality, quantity. I did a lot more than I thought I did. I had some very creative skives.
Well,
Grolsh.
good old. I'm
Grolsh.
glad you said it 'cause I forgot the name already.
It's because it's right. So negative like 0.5 of a point because that is not a font you can read.
No.
Grolsh. It's Amsterdamian 1615. The story is absolutely class. The can design is absolutely class. But that doesn't really take away or change its placement. The placement is purely down to taste. I'm between two tiers, and I think I know the one that's going to go.
It's about.
It's Turbolton or it's on it, because
It's about to me.
drinking it from the can, again, from the can, that is a beer that tastes nicer from the can.
It does taste nicer from the can actually.
And I think because my last can of this has been from the can, that's why I've tweaked it to on it. But Turbolton, I think, is the right answer.
Fuck, I'm stuck.
I think it's
Because if
Turbolton.
I was in that for the can, I'd agree on it.
I think it's Turbolton. I think it's Turbolton because
I'll say Turbolton. Turbolton was first
because
thought.
in a pub, let's just go hypothetically based on what we've got. There's 3 taps. Stella, Tennent's, Grolsh. Okay, that's the only 3 taps. They've got nothing else. No ciders, no Guinnesses, no whatever. I would immediately, the first one I would have would be this. Because you're not going to get it anywhere else.
No.
I'd have one,
And
I'd
then move
enjoy
on.
it, and then I'd have a Tennent's or a Stella.
But
So I think Turbolton's the best place
Turbolton
to
is
because
best fan. Which isn't a bad tier though.
no, absolutely that
Because
is
Turbolton is like
that's
a
the,
bit
that's
lower.
the 3 out of 5. That's the good.
So that's
tier.
not a bad number to be in.
That's the good tier. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the mid tier in terms of beer, but it's not great. It's not amazing.
But it's still not bad and it's not dog shit.
Yeah. So therefore, it is both mid and good because I would choose to drink one of these,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'd ever drink it in quantity.
If you're willing to buy it, I'd say it's doing a pretty good job.
So
Whereas if you're handed it,
for what is about £1 a can, not even recommended, randomly chosen by a random drunk races man, this
it's a pleasant surprise.
is quality over quantity. Don't have 2 or 3 or 4. That's when you're doing it wrong. Have one. Have it from a can.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it, and never see it again in your life.
Very true.
But we do not do episodes, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
no.
We would like to see you in the next round because that is what we do. We do rounds, and well, you've got a little bit left in your glass. On to another round, my good friend.
Round.
God, I've got a real urge to the Skype school.
I know, I want to go back and fucking just time travel just to Skype.
I might Skype you one day.
It's fucking
Because I think, post-credit scene, there is only one way to successfully Skype college or uni. Because if you don't go, it doesn't count. Here's how you do it. You go to your first class of the day. Then, you don't go to the second one because you specifically and exclusively go to the pub. That is the only way to
That's
skive uni.
I've only actually been to the pub on a college day once.
College, I wasn't aged to do it. Uni, I haven't chose to do it because I've only ever had one class a day. I've never had 2 classes a day to
I wish
do
you
that.
went to the Glasgow uni, man.
Absolutely not.
And then we can go to the pub together. I have a feeling we'd never be fucking out with them.
We go to the pub together. Exactly. If you went to college
You
with one of your mates,
uni
every
extra.
single class, you'd go to the pub afterwards, and then you'd never be out the thing. I hope you enjoyed post-credit scene. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your skiving stories in the comments. But again, you probably tuned out during the credits. If you watched the entire thing, there's no watch on my wrist, nor is there a fireball tattoo like last time. You know, the episodes we do rounds, blah 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 blah.
Piss break time.
Vape.
Oh, I'm just gonna pee.